welcome back to the ZebraTalk series. We are talking about purpose today, and so my next guest, would you like to just introduce yourself and
Sure.
Maybe tell us something about your organisation?
Okay, so I'm Kevin Sutherland, Strategy Director at Skating Panda. Skating Panda is a strategic consultancy, an agency, a very modern business that does many things for both corporates, charities, NGOs. Purpose is at the heart of what we do, everything from purpose development, definition, purpose embedding, etc., but right through to CSR, cause identification, and indeed issue raising, fundraising, helping charities with the commercial challenges that they face today, right through to campaign management and delivery. So very diverse kind of business. Indeed.
And so at our event, you gave some really good examples of purpose-led organisations who you had seen and you thought were effective. So why don't you tell us about one or two of those?
Sure. It's the debate around purpose today highlighted many things, and one was that often you need a catalyst for a move to a more purposeful approach. Personally, I think the insurance sector is really interesting because it's a sector where behavioural science tells you that most of the parties involved in that are actually incentivized to behave badly.
It's not an obvious one to think about purpose.
No. It's a sector that's been disrupted by price comparison websites that sort of tends towards the commoditization. And yet the major players in that market, and if I give some examples, say Aviva and Direct Line are, both thriving by moving to a much more purpose-led approach in their businesses. Aviva, are literally on the record and are very, fierce proponents of being purpose-led in their business. And Direct Line have effectively transformed their business from, a position of, loss of market share, loss of brand equity and recognition to one where they're winning again. So I think that's a very interesting sector where a purpose-led approach is actually leading to business success.
Yeah, and I think one of the things we talked about some studies at the beginning of our session, and one of the things that they seem to show is that in a period of disruption, when you're trying to innovate, when you're trying to do digital transformation, being purpose-led is a clear advantage.
Absolutely.
You can go through those choppy waters. So maybe give us one takeaway from the session today. We had a very broad discussion. What did you take away from it?
Well, actually, so it was the last point that was made, which I thought was perhaps one of the most interesting. You raised the question around the risk of moving towards a more purpose-led approach, and it actually made me think of the old quote, the old statement that nothing kills a bad product quicker than good advertising, right?
Yeah.
And actually, but I think purpose behaves in a slightly different way, right?
Perhaps
And if an organisation, there are risks in everything, right? But if an organisation commits to being defined by purpose and behaving and acting in a purposeful manner, and commits to that on a long-term basis, every day, everywhere, then actually the opposite is true. It actually enables that organisation to be much stronger and much better able to respond and survive when things inevitably go bad. The implicit point in the question is that what's the risk in announcing yourself as purposeful or pursuing a particular purpose when something screws up, but actually ironically it probably makes you better able to withstand the knocks that come when something bad happens or somebody screws up.
Thanks very much.
Pleasure.